Okay, good morning, good morning, good morning, my beautiful epic peeps. How are you? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. I hope you can see and hear me. It's a little crazy. I'm in a different spot, so I'm going to give a second to see if I get any eyes on us before I go into all the cool stuff we have to share with you today. We have a very special guest, a return guest. All right, I see that one little eyeball just popped up. So that means I'm being seen and heard. Yes, because the lady that we're bringing forward today really helps to provide a service that needs to be seen and heard and shared. So that is why we're here. If you have anybody that you'd like to share today's interview with, please go grab some people off of Facebook, bring them back on here because it really is near and dear to my heart as we bring forward the guest today. Give me a few minutes and I'm going to do that. Her name is Allison. But before that, my name is Samantha and I'm coming live to you on behalf of E.P.I.C. E.P.I.C. stands for Empowering People, Inspiring Community. And E.P.I.C. Tri-County CT is this beautiful, multifaceted platform of positive media. We publish a beautiful magazine every 2 months. I don't have one here. I'll explain why with me, but that's all right. We also have a social media presence. You can find us at epictricountyct.com. That's our website. Social media, YouTube, all that good stuff, right? I keep saying we. Who's we? All right. My name is Samantha, but none of this would be possible without my beautiful co publisher and co creator, Lisa. She's always working in the background to make everything come together for E.P.I.C. So give her some love and some light. All right. Send up Lisa some love and some light. Absolutely. I am a little out of sorts today. I hope everybody weathered Henri or Henry, however you want to pronounce that. Grateful it fizzled for our state. Um, but still, I don't know about anybody else. We lost power here for a little while. And hence, I'm in a little different spot. So please bear with me. Bear with me. But it's important. Today is so important. We're doing this on a special day. Okay. We're coming to you from a different place. Why? Because we have Allison Gamber from the Cove. Okay. The Cove is a center for grieving children and young adults. Allison was a guest, I believe it was last year already, for the Cove and really, really touched my heart. The mission of the Cove touched my heart. I'm a Gigi to four beautiful grandchildren, and I hope that the service that Allison and her co-workers and the Cove provide, I hope that my grandchildren don't have to utilize the services, but I do know that if the situation does arise, that the Cove is there for them, and that makes me so very, very grateful. It's a safe haven for children and young adults to express their grief, to learn about grief, to process grief in a healthy way, and to come together with others experiencing similar situations. All right. I met Allison, like I said, I believe it was last year, and her dedication and her energy that just is funneled into the mission of the Cove is palpable. She's dedicated and determined to share this message. So, without any further ado, all right, I want to bring Allison forward because there's so much going on with the Cove that she's the best person. It's going to be Allison Gamber from the Cove. Give me 1 second. Yay. Yay,
Good
yay, yay.
morning.
Hi. You look
Hi.
so clear. You look so clear, but you know what? One thing about the Epic interviews is that it's real and it's authentic. And whether the lighting is right or the sound is wonky, we still come forward to bring a message of empowerment and inspiration. And that's what you do at the Cove. That's what you do at the Cove. So tell us a little bit about Allison. And then we'll get into how the Cove has evolved as part of your life and your mission.
Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for having me on today. As you said, I'm very passionate about the Cove, and I'm happy to share our mission with your listeners and your viewers today, because sadly, death is everywhere and it doesn't escape anyone, and that's what we're here to do. So I am Allison Gamber. I'm the executive director for the Cove Center for Grieving Children. I've been here for about, 2.5 years now, and it's been a roller coaster of a 2.5 years for sure. It's been very interesting with the pandemic, and I'm just trying to shift everything that we've been working on. So we're here. We're here to support, and I can't wait to share more about the Cove.
I know. So the main office, the main hub of the Cove is in Meriden. Is that correct?
That's correct. That's where we do all of the behind the scenes work from, is at our office in Meriden. The Cove really has statewide presence, however, so just because our office is in Meriden, we actually serve the entire state of Connecticut.
Nice. So like satellite offices. If tell us a little bit more about how you do help families of young children and grieving children, starting from maybe I make a phone call to you. All right. What is that process like? What would the family and the child experience stepping into the Cove?
Sure. So first and foremost, people need to know about us, need to know that we exist. And when I started at the organization, so many people told me that the Cove is the best kept secret, and we're tired of it being a secret. There are so many children that need love and support and guidance, and families that just are uncertain how to help their children through the grieving process. We need people to know about us. So you may not have somebody in your life that is grieving, in your immediate family, but you may know somebody, one of your friends or extended relatives may have a child who is grieving. So first and foremost, please tell people about us. We are here to support families, and if we can't do it directly, we have the resources to be able to say, well, we can't help you, but here's somebody else you can call, because we don't want to leave any family without another resource. We'll help connect them, because at this time when somebody's grieving, they're just so unsure. There's so many things happening, and the last thing we want them to do is make another phone call. We'll help them do some of that legwork. So when a family calls us, first thing we're going to do is we're going to obviously collect some basic information and learn your story. We want to know about your story, who is impacted by the grief, how they're impacted, and we'll do an assessment to see if the Cove is the right place for you or not. And if you are, then we'll send you an application, and it's, again, collecting just basic information. We'll talk you through it, and then you'll receive a phone call from one of our site directors, again, and they'll further the process of assessing whether or not the Cove is a right fit for you, and if you're a right fit for the Cove, because the last thing we want is to have a bad experience and it not be at the right time for the family to join us at the Cove. So we want to make sure that everything is going to kind of go as smoothly as possible. And then once you're accepted into a family program site, then you'll start when the site director gives you the proper date.
Beautiful. I want to share something before we go on. I have a dear friend who knew about the interview that is happening right now between Allison and I. And this person actually sent me an email and said that, and I'm quoting it, and it says, the Cove, when they were just beginning, was instrumental in my understanding that grief was a thing after denying it forever. She didn't have the opportunity to work with them, but she did look them up, and the Cove recommended a counselor to this person that did help her learn that grief was a thing in the processing. So that is an important aspect I wanted to share, that, as you said, you go through the criteria and the screening process, right, in the interview and the connection. And if there is by chance, something that isn't meshing, you're able to provide the person with other resources and to give them that connection and not kind of just say, nope, sorry, can't help you, next. So bless you for that. So there's satellite offices all over. With COVID, and the state right now that everybody is in, really, with the variant and so on and so forth. Are the services back to being in person? Are they virtual? How is that looking now for the Cove?
Yeah, well, we're fortunate, and I feel very grateful that we're able to now go back to in-person programming. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, it lasts the entire year. I know last year we had everything was virtual, and we actually had one site that was open all year. I could not believe, because the facility we were in allowed us to stay, everywhere else closed, and said, we can't have any outsiders in, obviously, for safety reasons. So that one site stayed open, and we were actually very grateful. And the folks that participated really and appreciated still having that in-person connection, because for some, the kids were in school, for some people, or they were part-time, and everything was on Zoom. So they really appreciated that in-person one-on-one connection with each other. Even though they were socially distanced, they were still able to be in the same room together, and that was really important. So this year we've moved back to in-person programming. However, we still have 3 virtual options, which I'm very happy to be able to continue to offer. And I don't think, quite frankly, that virtual is ever going to go away in its entirety again, because we know it can work, and it does work. So this year we have a virtual teen group. So for that, 13 to 17-year-old age group, it's completely virtual. Parents don't participate, so it's unique just for the teens, an opportunity for them to share their grief with their peers, or even just listen. We had quite a group last year doing that teen group, and it was interesting because in the beginning, all the kids had their cameras turned off, as they do. It's normal teen stuff. But by the end, they started turning their cameras on and really interacting more face-to-face and one-on-one, which is quite amazing. And the leader of that group, Ryan, he really has a way to connect with that age group, and it was moving and touching to hear the stories. The quotes from the kids at the end of the year saying how much they didn't realize they needed it, and one kid said they were glad that their parent pushed them to attend, because teens may not always be interested in doing something like that, but we don't realize how much they're grieving and how differently they grieve than we do. So it's important to get them that help and that support. This year we also have a men's group. So Ryan was doing an in-person group prior to COVID starting, and he recognized the fact that the male caregivers that were attending really weren't speaking up, or had different needs than the ladies in the group. So he recommended that we start a virtual men's group, and we did that last year, and not realizing how really important it was to give men the opportunity to have a safe space to speak, to not speak, to listen, to ask the questions that they may not be willing to ask in a larger group setting with all those different people in the room. So it was really amazing. So we do have that option for those male caregivers. I know that we had one dad, his wife died from cancer, and he had a teenage daughter, and he had gone through our Cove program prior, and then he switched to the virtual men's group to kind of be a mentor to the other men that are in that group. And then there was another dad that, didn't have full-time custody of the child, and then the mom died, so he all of a sudden had full-time custody of the child, and was just like so overwhelmed with all of it. So it was really important for him to get some parenting tips, even, or guidance, and understanding his child and making sure that he was able to provide the support that the child needed at that time. So there's just so many different scenarios where it's so important to get that support that you need to be the best caregiver parent to that child that's grieving. And I know I'm talking a lot, I'm so sorry, but there's one more virtual group that I'm saddened that we have to offer, but I'm thrilled that we are able to offer, is a young adults group, the 18 to 25-year-old group. Again, it's virtual. So for those kids that are away at college in Connecticut, they have the opportunity to be able to participate. That's in a group that is, private, that where they can, again, listen, share, not share, but gain that support that they need for themselves and maybe some of their friends. We know that age group, not only do their parents die, but the suicide rate for that age group is high. And we're here to provide that support for that group of young adults that really need that additional support that's private and where they can really relate to each other.
I did not know that you had all these virtual groups, and I'm very thankful that you've shared it with me and also with our community, because as you said earlier, it is really important that we let people know that this service is available, that the Cove is available to young adults grieving. The men's group, I think that's amazing, because, most of the men that I know in my life, especially my family men, they don't really open up very easily, if at all. And to provide a space for them, a platform, a safe place, is huge, because that energy ripples throughout everything, So by taking care of that father, that brother, that older brother, really is going to help the whole family unit, whatever that may look like, be stronger and to continue to move forward with their new now. I think that the point you made up about the increase in suicide, especially in the age groups of 18 to 25, how that's increasing, unfortunately, that is what it is. It is the truth. But providing, again, another platform and another safe space for this particular group of people is really it's in direct alignment with our EPIC mission, right? It's empowering people and inspiring community and family, and creating that safe, empowering space. So bless you and everybody. I know you're the executive director, but I know it takes a village, right? That saying, it takes a village. So I know you have a lot of amazing staff and different departments in the Cove. Is the Cove a nonprofit? How is this service paid for? Do the families have to pay? How does that work?
Yes, so the Cove is a nonprofit organization, and I am honored to say that we offer all of our programming for free. Can't say that very often these days, but everything that we offer is free. We do ask the families to make a donation, a financial contribution, a one-time financial contribution. If they can, wonderful. If they cannot, fine. It's not an issue. But it is, obviously a challenge to raise enough money to make sure that we can continue to provide these services for free. So it's that balancing act of making sure that we are continually raising enough money to be able to provide these programs for free. Because not only do we have our family program, but we also have our camp as well, which is free. So everything that we do is free, and we need to continually raise the bar so we can continue to offer new services.
That's it. So what type of fundraising? How can we help? Tell us what's coming up for the Cove as far as fundraising and how we can help as community members donate, whether it be our time, our talents, or our treasures. How is that? What's up with that for the Cove right now, fundraising and stuff?
Absolutely. So this year we are planning to have our annual run for the Cove in person. Last year we did it virtually, and we are 100% planning on doing it in person, and it's on October 17th. And we actually started the event at Hammonasset in Madison, and it's a beautiful trail. There's a 5K, a memorial walk, and a kids fun run. So until this year, it has only been at Hammonasset, but this year I'm so excited to announce that we are starting a second location at Winding Trails in Farmington. So we're gonna have two locations on the same day. The event in Farmington does not have the 5K; it's just the memorial walk and the kids fun run. but it's an opportunity for people to participate that maybe don't want to drive to Hammonasset, or it's just not convenient, or instead of being on the beach, you want to do a walk in the woods, because the trail at Winding Trails is through the woods, and it's absolutely beautiful. So, and especially in October, the leaves will be changing, and it's just going to be a glorious day to raise money for the Cove. So there's a number of ways you can participate. We are still looking for sponsors. So if there's any businesses out there that are listening and would like to show the community your support with the Cove and to partner with us, we are still looking for sponsors. Get a team together, come walk, run, have the kids run. And then with that team are additional fundraising opportunities also. If you just want to sign yourself up and then put a link out there to your family and friends through social media, emails, and just raise some funds through your team, that would be great as well. So we have lots of opportunities for the community to participate. And usually at Hammonasset, there's about 1,000 people. It's a large event. So I'm hoping to have, probably 100 people at Winding Trails this year to start off for the first time. And if you're looking to volunteer, we love volunteers. Any way that you can give back would be super helpful. And even if you don't know a business, you can connect us to a business, or any opportunities that you may have as you're sitting there going, how can we support the Cove? I don't own a business, but I know somebody that does. Please give us a call. You can email me, allison@covect.org. Call our office. It's 203-634-0500. However you want to connect with us would be unbelievable. And we are actually really looking for that community support through businesses. We would love to get into some larger companies just to tell their employees about the Cove. Yeah. And then hopefully, it can evolve into a deeper partnership. But we, our goals obviously are to help grieving children, but if they don't know about us, we can't help them. So yes. We're out there. We're looking to get those folks that to learn about the Cove.
Right, and that's a beautiful thing. I am excited. 10/17 is a very special day for my family. 2 of my grandchildren, they're not twins. Liam and Madison are both born on October 17th. And what me is what a beautiful way to celebrate their birthday is to go out to Farmington that morning and let them participate, and all of us participate. So I'm going to pitch that to my family, definitely. If there's anybody watching from the Chamber of Commerce, Holistic Chamber of Commerce, maybe get a team together through your organization. There's so many different ways. You can always go onto the Cove website, which is shown on the screen. Also, there is a race page that I just clicked there. You can, Lisa, beautiful Lisa, is putting up Allison's phone number in the comments. I'm going to show the phone number. There's so many different ways to participate in just this one event, which is on October 17th, one in Farmington at Winding Trails, and the other fun run, the 5K and the Memorial Walk are all at Hammonasset on that same day. What time do they start? What time is the kickoff?
So we're not having any in-person registrations this year due to COVID. So everything has to be done online prior to the event. That's very important for people to know. So check-in will begin at 9 o'clock in both locations. Okay. And then we'll have a gathering and a welcome message from one of our founders, Renee McIntyre, at about 9:45. And then in Hammonasset, the 10K will start at 10 a.m. And then in Farmington at Winding Trails at 10 o'clock, the kids' fun run will start, and then the walk will take place after that. So the scheduling is a little bit different in both locations, but check-in starts at 9, and then about a 9:45 gathering and welcome.
Beautiful. And so anybody that's watching now or that's watching later, please, we're raising awareness about the Cove. The Cove is the Center for Grieving Children and Youth and Families. They're located primarily, the office is in Meriden, but they service all of Connecticut and Connecticut families. They're all nonprofit. So donations, fundraising is very important. We're talking right now about the race for the Cove happening on October 17th. One is in Hammonasset at Hammonasset State Park. And then the other is in Farmington at Winding Trails, both on October 17th. Both require a virtual registration, and then check-ins begin about 9 on the 17th. Looking for volunteers to help on that day. Looking for sponsors in the form of, if you know anybody that's a business owner or, any company, please forward this information to them. The Cove can only exist with our support as a community and as a state. All right. Everything they do is so important to help young families, young children process grief, something that is, like you mentioned earlier, Allison, everybody is going to be affected by death in one way or another in this lifetime. And for you and all the staff and volunteers at the Cove to be there as a safe place for healing to begin, that's just a blessing. I mean, it really touches my heart. To know that it's there, and then to get the message from my friends saying years ago, and to see that ripple and to know that we're still continuing together, helping to bring this message forward. I'm honored to be here talking to you, really.
Oh, gosh. Thank you. I'm honored to be here. I do want to say one thing, Samantha, is that all the proceeds from the run obviously go back to the Cove to keep our programs free. So, it's so important that we raise enough money. And I really want to say thank you to our 2 title sponsors for the event, because without them, this wouldn't be nearly as successful as it is. But we are thrilled to announce that we have Aetna and Aflac as our two title sponsors this year. So that's really huge. It's a big deal for us to be able to continue to have the community supporting us in both Aetna and Aflac. And also, I'm really, really excited this year. We have Renee Danino from the River 105.9 and iHeart community to be able to support us as well. So we have a great radio media sponsor, 2 large companies who are sponsoring us this year, and we have other sponsors as well. And I'm just going to be I just want to say thank you to them right now, really quickly. Sandy Seidman, Delaporta Eye Care is a brand new sponsor. It's an optometrist in Bristol, and we're so excited to have her again. Song Strong, the Ethan Strong Foundation is also a supporter this year. KBE Building and Central Connecticut Acoustics are our current sponsors that we have right now, and we're definitely looking for more. So if you want to join those amazing companies in a sponsorship, and many of them are going to have teams at one of the locations. So we're really excited. Come join us. Meet Renee Danino. I believe she's going to be at the Farmington location, and I haven't heard who's going to be at the Hammonasset one yet, but there'll definitely be another radio personality there as well. So come down, join us, have some fun. It's a great day. There's going to be pumpkin painting for the kids, and yeah, so it's a family event, and we want people to come out to remember their loved one that has died and to come together as a community to grieve for them and also to celebrate their life.
Right, and to honor them. And yeah. I honor you and all of the staff at the Cove, all the volunteers. I'm excited, especially my mind is just ticking. I know if I show Liam Dillon, who's 8, Maddie's just 4, she might not understand, but I would love to have Liam have a team in honor of his birthday, and instead of a ton of gifts, maybe give back to the Cove as his birthday present. We'll see what Gigi can come up with that, but marking my calendar for 10/17 to go out to Farmington, definitely. So our time, I can't believe it's already 11:29. It goes so quickly. Any other fundraising events that you want to mention real quickly that are coming up? Or should we just refer people to the website? what's happening. I don't care if we go over. It's fine.
Of course, the website is always your best place for most up-to-date information. We do have this really neat thing. It's a scavenger hunt through Meriden. There's a company called Rock Paper Scissors that came to us and said, hey, we can put together a scavenger hunt in Meriden, and it's a driving one, so you don't even have to get out of your car or interact with anybody if that's not something that you're comfortable with yet. But it's $15, and for every $15, $5 comes back to the Cove. So it's an opportunity to kind of see some of Meriden and have some fun with your family in the car. And then also November is Children's Grief Awareness Month, and so that's coming up also, to have companies participate on Children's Grief Awareness Day, maybe wear blue at their office or even virtually, have meetings and everybody's in blue to raise awareness of children's grief, because children's grief is real. They don't just bounce back. They're resilient, and yes, but they need help, they need support, whether you realize it or not. And it may not be immediately, it may be a year after the death occurs. They need support, they need to understand how to process it, and not talking about it, which is something that was believed in the past to do. Just don't talk about it, sweep it under the rug, everything will be fine. It's not. That's not a healthy way to grieve for anybody, an adult even. It's not a healthy way to grieve. So by letting kids know that there's a safe place for them to come is really, really important.
Awesome. I think I still have blue hair paint left from last year. So yeah, I'll have to paint myself blue. But I want to thank you again, Allison, from the Cove, the Center for Grieving Children and Youth. Please, please, please share this video. Share the information about the race coming up on October 17th. Point businesses and individuals to the website, which is www.covect.org. It's all throughout our comments. And Allison, we will be checking back in with you, I'm sure, as we go forward on this rainy Monday here in Connecticut. I want everybody to please stay safe. Stay true to who you are and your own personal mission. All right. Stay connected and stay tuned for tomorrow. We'll be returning with another epic interview. And until then, it's always with love and light that I say peace out, Epic Scouts. Thank you. Thank you so much, Allison. Thanks. Bye, everybody.